Evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're all enjoying the sunshine after the shorts on for 3 days in a row now. And, having chicken legs, but I really don't care because, I don't apologise for wearing my shorts, even though I do get slagged quite a wee bit. But tonight we are joined by a brand new guest, a brand new face, a young lady all the way from Aberdeen, or it's also known as the Granite City. I'm going to get it right now. Malhana KNOWLES. Did I get it right?
That's it. Well done.
So Malhana is a tarot reader. And I was going to say I picked you up with that. I found her on TikTok, but I didn't find her. She popped up my TikTok one day doing her tarot readings. I thought, she was quite interesting. So I thought, well, let's bring her on the show and we'll have a wee chat, So tonight we're going to be talking about how she got into tarot and stuff. So finally, well, Anna, I've got you on the show. So welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I should have said that right away, before I started gapping, really.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
So, is the sun shining in Aberdeen?
Yes, it has been. It shines for a little bit, but then it starts getting a bit colder than that. But like when the sun is shining, I'm down at the river and stuff. I just love it. I love it.
There's Laura's one of yours, and she's also my bestie.
Oh, hi.
Did I hear chicken regularly? A new guest, and you start on the leg, so go to a lovely new guest.
Hello.
I was just starting on the legs, Laura. I was just saying on shorts on, and anybody that knows me knows that shorts mean chicken legs. So I was just getting in before anybody else did, basically. Aberdeen's beautiful. I used to live in Aberdeen. I used to work there every Wednesday and stuff for 2-3 years. I never actually seen much yet. These places you go to a place and you drive through it, but you never actually see. I hated Union Street.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's even worse now with all the LEZ and all that. You can't even drive anywhere now. It's crazy.
Oh, I used to dread going around Union Street, especially early morning kind of thing, 7, 8, 9 o'clock kind of. But there was no other way. Either that, you could go up Anderson Drive, which I hated as well.
That's a busy road, Anderson Drive. Yep.
For anybody who's not been to Aberdeen, Anderson Drive basically cuts through to the west of Aberdeen, I would say, not right through the city centre, but it takes about 3 hours to go over it. Would you agree with that?
I agree, especially when there's traffic. Yeah. It can take ages, definitely.
There's Laura again. Laura, I will see you tomorrow, dear. So, just keep stacking them up. More meat on a chicken drumstick.
You can tell she's your pal, definitely.
But for how long's the question? Do you know what I'm saying? If she keeps piling the insults up. Mind you, I give back to her as good as she gives to me. So, you're a tarot reader, and you've had quite a remarkable journey, shall we say?
Yep, but it's been a journey. That's true, definitely. It's been a journey.
Obviously, I'm not going to say too much. Leave that up to you. So, how did you get into the tarot? What made you turn to tarot, basically?
Well, I was going through a hard time, like with addiction and things like that. And I was just really struggling, and I felt like I needed some sort of like guidance, So I got into like the spiritual side of things. I actually went through like an awakening in 2023. I thought I was actually going off my head, but I wasn't. And when I figured out it was a spiritual awakening, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going crazy. Yay. And then I ended up actually getting a reading from somebody, and she says you've been spiritually activated. So your gifts should start like, coming through in that. And I was like, what does that even mean? I didn't understand at all what she meant there. And then I started like picking up like energies and things off people, picking up how they were feeling. And I'm like, how am I able to do this? It's really bizarre, So what happened, like to get into the readings in that was my cousin did them, but she just showed me like the basics of like the shuffling the cards and that. And she just pretty much said, once one pops out, you know, that'll be like the cards chosen them, sort of. So I just tried it for myself, like doing readings with her, and they were all like resonating. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to try this on live. And then I probably did about 5 on my first live, and they all resonated. So I was like, no way, I can actually do this. Like, this is crazy, you know? So I just kept doing it, and now I do quite a lot of them on live, you know?
Craig, he's one of us, that's Laura's other half as well. That's Laura's husband, he's like 6'6", 6'7" or something like that. So you say you're a spiritual awakening, what kind of happened?
Right, okay, so I was going through, people might say, oh, it's psychosis, right? Because that's what I thought it was maybe a bit of psychosis, because I was having all these like signs coming through, seeing all these like synchronicities with like numbers and things like that. You know, I thought like things were like speaking it, like honestly, it sounds crazy, but I thought like the TV was like speaking to me and stuff like that. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to end up in like the Nutcracker here. Like, this is mad. But like that's actually signs of like a spiritual awakening, you know? It sounds crazy. They'll like label it as psychosis, but it's not psychosis. That's like a spiritual awakening, you know?
It doesn't sound crazy, you know. I mean, everybody gets into tarot paranormal for hundreds of different reasons, you know, there's many reasons. But do you think maybe, I mean, you know, obviously you were saying about your addiction and what have you, but you've always had that kind of gift, you know, but with you having, how do you put it, your addiction, it kind of buried it.
Yeah, definitely. You know? That just buried everything.
When you stop, maybe somebody in spirit, you know, kind of maybe some people might think this sounds crazy, but you know, once you stopped the addiction, basically, and you started to become yourself, you know, maybe spirit saw that, you know, well, we can talk to her now, we can.
Yeah, because I remember when I was like going through my awakening, I was in here actually, and I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing, right? And it felt like somebody touched my shoulder, and I'm not even joking. I actually turned around because I felt like it was somebody touching my shoulder as if to say you shouldn't be doing that. So see, when I got my pendulum, I just felt like, oh my God, that's Paul. That's like my best friend who passed away. I felt like it was him. And see, on my pendulum, I asked, was that Paul that touched my shoulder? And it's moved to yes, you know? It was weird. Like, a lot of strange things have been happening, you know? Really weird things. Just crazy, you know?
There's I can't say Mrs. Mattison. I had a guest on last week, and I said, there's a wife in, and I can't mind who it was, but my guest gave me into trouble for saying the wife. So I said,
really?
I didn't get me into trouble, right? I mean,
oh,
who it was. I'll come back to me. So I need to see Mrs. Matthews. And Laura's saying my cousin struggled with heroin addiction for years, and it took about 10 years before she woke up. If that makes sense.
That makes complete sense. Yeah, because that's what I struggled with. I struggled with it. Am I able to say it on here without getting violated?
I would just say H.
Right, H and C addiction. But on TikTok, you can't say anything. You've got to be really careful. That's what I struggled with.
I don't know. Evening, Scottish Hitman. Welcome in. I don't know how it works for you. I know Facebook are quite bad for it. You know.
Yeah, TikTok's really bad. Oh my God, TikTok's terrible.
We've had a few strikes of what we caught doing through the years with Facebook for, you know, the slightest sweary word and stuff like that. YouTube, I don't know. I mean, it sounds daft. We've been using YouTube for about 6 years. But I just did my shows on it and then come off. I don't know much about the ins and outs. But I would just, to be safe, I would just stick to H and C, basically.
Right, okay. So, yeah, but that makes perfect sense about your cousin going through that, and then it took her all that time to wake up, because that, like, you know, suppresses everything and numbs everything, you know?
But, I mean, I don't know a lot about the addiction side, you know. I mean, there's all... it can be strict, but only the first only the first minute of their life. Cheers, young man. Well, we are 10 minutes in, so we're probably okay. I mean, I know there's all sorts of addictions, you know, drugs, alcohol, gambling, smoking, you know, I'm bad for that. Or, you know, food, or the rest of it. And it must be hard to, I mean, I've tried to quit smoking, but Laura and my wife will tell you, I lasted about 82 hours or something, and the two of them, because we see Laura all the time, and the two of them are telling me go and buy a packet of fags. You know, I know, just remember. I just remembered you were going like, well, it's good to have you in. I'm glad you remembered, young man. I'm glad you remembered. So, I mean, see, I'm no expert on the subject, you know, but I've known people in Glasgow who went through similar addictions, you know, and you know they came out. It was a fight. So that's how I kind of understand. I don't fully understand what you went through or anything else, but I kind of understand because I saw it for kind of, I wouldn't say second hand, maybe third hand. But I saw these people, you know, coming out of it, and gradually, I mean, it took months. Laura saying her cousin took 10 years. Took these guys months and months before they were maybe, you know, back on their feet again, and sort of had some kind of life about them. You know, they weren't 100%. They gradually did get 100%, but it took quite a while. She was very religious and found her, then H found her, but now she's got a job, custody of one of her children, and is active in church.
Okay, that's good.
So, I mean, there is, I know, as soon as you mention addiction, there's a certain stigma attached to it.
Definitely.
You know, a lot of people just look at you and say, oh, well, once an addict, always an addict, basically. You know, you'll go back to it, give it a year, and you'll be, you know, back on it and stuff like that. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you can add Laura's cousin as well. Both of you are living proof of it.
Exactly. Now that I've had, like, seen what a life in recovery is like, I'm never going back to that, you know. I've spent, you know, I mean, like, most of my adult life on it, and I'm never going back to it because opportunities like this are happening for me, you know. It's just crazy, you know, but I'm just so grateful.
It is a question for Scottish Hitman. I'll stick that up in a wee second. It's crazy, but it's no crazy, you know. I mean, smoking's no the same kind of addiction, you know, but when you how can you when you're smoking cigarettes, people say, oh, you're nuts for doing that, you know, you should chuck it. And it's easy for people who look out to the outside and say, right, you know, you don't need that, but they're no in the position that their body needs it.
Exactly. It's a whole different story, you know, with the physical and the mental, you know. It's a lot, you know.
I mean, it's the old scenario, walk a mile in my shoes, I reckon.
Yep. Totally.
You know, I mean, I know I'm comparing smoking because that's my kind of only addiction. I don't know if coffee's an addiction, is it?
Well, I like the coffee every morning, definitely. Yep.
I'm the same. Soon as I get up, you know, whether it's a school day or weekend, that's the first place I go is the kettle and get a cup of coffee. Mind you, Monday, Friday, when I'm getting the wee one up for school, I'll pour a cup of coffee, but I don't actually finish that cup of coffee because you're trying to organise to get out the door, basically. You know, the Scottish Hitman saying, what got you into tarot cards?
What got me into them? I just tried it because my cousin, she was doing readings, and I've always had an interest in things like that, you know, like spiritual things. I've always had an interest in things. And I just really didn't understand it before, I suppose, you know, and then I just tried it for myself, doing a reading on my cousin, and she was like, oh my God, that's actually spot on, you know, and then I just took it from there and started doing them on live and things like that, you know. My name actually means, the meaning of my name is healer as well, you know.
I was scared in case I pronounced your name wrong, actually. She lost everything, the family, not me, it's an addiction with everything else. It doesn't define a person. That's
No,
very, that's
it runs in my
true.
family, unfortunately, for like generations, it's run in my family. So I'm the generational curse breaker.
Well, that's good. That's good. Hey, Amy, though.
Alright.
Coffee is an addiction because of the caffeine, same as me. All my life, she drinks some Monster and Red Bull. I hate saying Red Bull because I'm a Formula One fan. I don't know if you watch
Okay.
Formula One or not.
Yeah.
I'm a Ferrari fan, and
Okay.
Red Bull are rubbish, shall we say, for want of a better word. I hate saying that word. Laura saying, "Be proud of yourself. You're doing great."
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I am proud of myself. I am. It's been a journey. It's been really difficult, but it is getting a bit easier now. But it was really difficult in the beginning. I just try and keep busy.
I think that's the best. I mean, again, I'm comparing it to smoking, and there's no comparisons. You know what I mean? But I'm just comparing it because of the addiction side of it. And
Yeah.
people say, if you stop smoking, keep yourself busy, find another hobby, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And sometimes it's no easy. Sometimes it's no that because you're that used to doing that one thing, whatever
Hmm.
it might have been, and so it's hard to break that cycle. Basically, did you find that it was hard to
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
snap away?
Yep, I've had to change everything about my life. I've had to change my number, like change my friend. Like I don't have any like, not that I had friends when I was in addiction, but like I just, I've had to just not speak to people. Everything's just had to change, in order for me to change.
See, I can see the sense in that, because if you quit the H basically, but if you still keep this, no disrespect to any of your friends, ex-friends, whatever, but if you still keep in the same circles,
Hmm.
I would imagine it's easy to get drawn back in.
Yeah, or it would be. For me, they don't mix. I can't be speaking to people that's still in that life. And I know some people might say, oh, it's selfish, but I've got to just keep my recovery time, because it can be really triggering.
Hmm. I wouldn't say it's selfish. I would say, you, you're doing what you think's better for yourself.
Yeah, for the first time ever in my life, I am doing that, and I feel like I deserve just to be happy and move on from this.
Aye, you're doing, as you say, what makes you happy. You're doing what you want to do in life, not what somebody or something else
Yeah,
is controlling, is telling you to do.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
this is my life. I'm going to do A, B, and C instead of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I'm very Scottish Hitman skeptic of the tarot cards. I used to work in Aberdeen.
Oh,
Um,
that's all right. A lot of people are.
I know
I
it is.
feel
I
like I
mean,
have a reading.
to be honest with you, I was skeptical. I've never been into tarot cards. No offence to anyone that does them. I know a few people that do it. Our 10-year-old daughters actually started learning that. Lady I'm on with the morning night tarot, Tracy. She's teaching about Tracy. She's been doing it for, I don't know, decades basically. I'm not giving away her age. Don't actually know what age she is, but she's been doing it a while. We'll just stay safe and we'll say she's doing it for a while. And I've known people, especially on TikTok, and no doubt you've noticed this, Malhana, that all of a sudden there's, bucket full of people coming on that can suddenly read tarot, they suddenly get the gift, blah, 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 And so that kind of makes you a wee bit skeptic. But I've watched a few of your lives, and obviously I read the comments as well. And
Hmm.
it's always good feedback you get.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I am. Everyone says that I'm like spot on and very accurate because if I wasn't, I just wouldn't be doing it. But I still have to use my book and what the card, like the tarot means, because I've only been doing it a few months. But I also go on by like what I'm feeling, you know.
mm-hmm.
So like if I'm feeling like, for example, today I was doing a reading for somebody and I'm like, yeah, I'm just feeling really sad all of a sudden. There's a lot of sadness coming through. I feel like you're going through a lot and stuff. So I also like say what I'm feeling as well, you know.
You ever thought you might be an empath as well?
Oh, definitely, 100%. That's what somebody said when I had my reading. I've heard that a few times that I'm an empath, 100%. But I didn't understand what that meant. I thought I just cared about people, you know, because I've heard that I'm too sensitive and I care too much, you know. But yeah, I've heard a lot that I'm an empath, you know.
Basically, it just means you can pick up on people's feelings, sadness, you know. All
Yeah.
right, sometimes it's quite obvious how somebody's feeling, you know, but you pick most up on people's feelings, or if there's something no right and they're hiding it,
Yeah, I can sense
you know.
that straight away, usually, you know. Like the
You
other day,
see,
I was just walking to Greg's and somebody was like, "Will you give me a reading?" And I'm like, I said to her, I'm like, I feel like you're just needing like a little bit of guidance, a bit of support, because she's always going about with a smile. And I'm like, your smile's hiding a lot. And she was like, oh, don't, I'm going to cry. So I was like, okay, sorry. But, you know, I don't know, I can just feel it. It's strange.
so I mean, there you go. You've been through your addiction stuff, and you
Hmm.
came out the other end, the right end of the tunnel, basically. And
Hmm.
you say you had your spiritual awakening. So I mean, I believe I spirit, and as I say, some people might think I'm talking bollocks, but 9 times out of 10 I do talk bollocks. That's Laura, Sarah, Craig, whatever. Um, I think somebody in the spirit world has been looking out for you.
Yeah, me too,
You know,
definitely.
can I ask? If you don't answer, it's totally fine. What made you give it up? What made
Uh,
what happened that you decided? Right, I'm doing this for X amount of time. I've had enough.
I wanted to change for a long time, like years, but I just didn't know how to go about doing it. And like the deciding factor was I ended up in hospital with chest pains, you know, and I was like, right, something has got to change because, you know, I just don't want to be doing this anymore. You know, I was so depressed and miserable. I just pretty much wanted to die, you know, and it
Hmm.
was just going about changing. I'm like, how do I actually do this? It's, you know, I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time, so I had him as well. We actually came off it together. So if you're with somebody, like it does help being on the same page. A lot of times, you know, if you're trying to come off something with somebody, it doesn't work. But we both wanted to do it, you know. So we kind of had each other, you know. But I just decided enough was enough. I didn't want to live my life how I was living anymore. You know, I'd been miserable my whole life pretty much, you know, and I'm like, I deserve to be happy and I want to be, you know, I want to see what life is like without it. And don't get me wrong, for the first like couple of months I was getting triggered at every little thing. I couldn't actually leave the house at one point. I know it was just a bit much. And I was thinking, actually, I don't know if this is for me. It's too much hard work, you know, but I just
Hmm.
stuck at it.
But that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an addiction. No matter what
Yeah.
your addiction is, if you give up, and you're going to get triggers. You're going to get,
Yeah. Oh
again,
yeah.
like smoking, you're going to get. I mean, years and years ago, I gave up smoke for 6 months. It was for a
Well
sponsor kind of
done.
thing. And I'm going back. There were still cigarette machines in pubs back then, Malhana, so I can maybe give you a rough idea how long ago this was,
Aye.
And, for the first few weeks and that, it was hard because I worked beside smokers. You go to the pub and there was smokers. You see people smoking in the street. So you were
Yeah.
constantly, uh, but then I eventually gave it up. But I mean, the thing with that was, I was like 6 months off the fags. I went to a night out once with the work, and I was in a pub, and the guy handed me a cigarette, and I just lit it up. I wasn't even drunk. I was actually talking to Sarah and Laura. I think it was yesterday, the day before this. I wasn't
Yeah.
even drunk. I was standing there, and he said, do you want like George Marshall? The guy's name was. I don't forget his name, bastard. And he gave me and I lit it, and then I realised, wait, but I was straight out of the cigarette machine, and
Doesn't
buying
take
a
much,
packet
does
of
it?
fags. So it is quite easy to fall back into it,
Oh yeah.
but the
Yeah.
fact is, you've come out of it, you've had X amount of triggers done through the weeks, months after it,
Yeah.
but you managed to stay clear of them,
Yeah, you've just got to
you
like
know.
work with your triggers, I found, you know, because you can be as stubborn as you want, but like, you know, I've found like I have to work with my triggers and find out what's making me triggered, why am I feeling like this, you know? But it's also hard because when I was first coming off them, the amount of stuff I got offered by people while I was coming off it was mental. Like I wouldn't have ever been offered like stuff like that while I was actually using and needing it, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that are in that life don't want to see anyone coming off it, especially while they're still in that life.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think they were maybe offering you, you know, whatever to
Yeah.
to
Oh,
to
because
keep
they,
you there?
yeah, definitely, you know, 100%, definitely. And they want me to just still be as like stuck as they are, you know, because obviously I don't speak to anybody anymore, you know. You know, people
You're way.
benefited from me while I was in addiction, you know, and they don't benefit from me now, you know what I mean?
No, I know, and that's probably the reason why they were offering you whatever it was, because they knew they were going to, you know, going to lose you, but they were going to lose the benefits, you know, as
Mm-hmm.
well, which would affect them. It's just total selfish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, there's very little help professionally for addicts.
I know like
It's,
going to a CPN is okay and whatever, but they've just got their like knowledge from a book. I would rather speak to somebody that actually understands it and that's been through it, you know?
Aye. See,
You
see,
know what
I
I
feel
mean?
that way. I totally agree with that. I mean, I've said this for years about no about addiction, but other things. You know, you go and see somebody and they've learned via a book. You know,
Mm-hmm.
or they went to university for 4 years, but they've never been in whatever situation it might, you know, it might be. You know, whether it's
Exactly.
addiction, divorce, you know, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And you think, well, you know, you sit and talk to me because you read it in a book. You think, well, who wrote the book, and how did
Yeah.
the author learn what to write? Did they go to university for 5 years?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're right. You need somebody that's been there and done it.
Yeah. Because I find like, you know, they can be quite judgmental. I find, you know, if it was easy just to stop or cut down, it's like, do you not think people would be doing that? If it was that easy, they wouldn't be in a job,
Hmm.
you know?
Um, I like bulb moment. You have to find a new path, a new you, and the friends you talk about friends are never friends. I get that by going through stuff with my cousin.
Yeah, they
But
were
you
never
know,
friends, just associates.
I would just say you're better with somebody who's actually. I mean, I've tried to stop smoking over the years quite a few times, and people, you know, been to see people, and a couple of them I've said to them, "When did you stop smoking?" And they say, "Oh, I've never smoked."
See, there
So,
you
well,
go.
you give me advice on how to stop smoking. How? Oh, I know it's hard to stop. I said, but how do you know it's hard if you've never smoked?
Exactly.
You don't have that craving or you know that to the nicotine. So how can you sit there and tell me do this, do that, when you've never been there? So yeah, you
Mm,
better getting advice from people on the ground, basically.
mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying anything about these people. You know, the professionals. You know, they do their stuff. They've got a job to do and they do it. And maybe they do help X amount of people, but not everybody. You
Yeah,
know,
no, they
it's
don't, definitely don't. I had the same CPN for must have been about 8 years, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with her. I just found her really judgmental. I used to dread going to my appointments, and then I asked for a new one, and the one I've got just now is actually a lot more helpful. She's actually like, you know, wanting to work with me. I felt like the other one was just like really just not working with me at all. You know, it was
did you
just
feel
like,
that there was no kind of personal connection?
mm-hmm. Nothing like that, you know. She just didn't care. She was just there to do a job, and that was it. There was no like because I actually said to her, I'm like, do you actually care about the people that you see? You know? And she
Hmm.
was like, oh, I suppose to a degree. I'm like, well, it doesn't feel like that, you know?
You're just a file to them, basically.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
the old sayings. But you need. It's good when you get somebody that you know you've got. They see you as a person and knows a
Mm-hmm.
bit of paper. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's how I feel now
they'll,
with the work that I've got.
they'll ask you about your daily life and your, you know, would you get for shopping or you know, would you have for dinner? You know,
Mm-hmm.
stupid things, but I think you need that personal connection between you.
Yes, I
But
agree.
today is some good. Go back to your tarots. With regards to tarot, do you consult the cards reg? I don't know what that means in regards. Do you know what that means? I don't know.
No.
Maybe regularly.
Yeah,
you consult
I
the
do.
cards regularly.
Every morning I usually pull an oracle. I pull an oracle card for myself, you know. And they're mostly just saying the same things, that I'm on the right path, new opportunities are coming, stay patient, you know, don't be so hard on yourself, you know, be proud of your journey. That's what I get quite a lot.
That means regularly. You know, I've got another question for you, Hitman. I'll stick up with you. I think you've got to be patient because it's not an overnight success story. Do you know what I mean? It can take months, weeks, months, years or so. I know a few guys up in Glasgow that kind of went through it, and it took them a long time before they had any semblance of any kind of life. You know, so there's no time scale in a manual. It says, you know, well, 6 months you'll be, 7 months you'll be.
Yeah,
You know.
everyone's different. Everyone recovers different. Everyone's journey is different, you know.
That's exactly it. So, do you believe in the paranormal?
Yeah.
Malhana?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yes, I do.
I mean, Aberdeen, you know, all that area. Well, most of Scotland, you know, kind of like beyond Perth, Dundee, you know, it's quite active. You know, I know a few teams up there, Inverness, all that kind of areas as well, Ellen, Fraserburgh, and you know, there's always activity when they go in investigation. Have you ever done an investigation?
I've never done it, no, but like there's a few places in Aberdeen that are supposedly like haunted and things that have had weird activity, like the hospital, Glenady Hospital that I sent you that picture of, you know. Also, have you heard of did we speak about Crathis Castle?
No, I don't think we did.
There's a rumour there that there's this like green lady that appears and people see her supposedly. A few folk have seen this like green lady. You know, supposedly she's like a watcher over like the hospital and stuff like that. Just like this green like spirit and things, you know.
Well, we're planning to do kind of more road trips this year. As I said to you a few weeks back, we decided we usually just stick. We're in Ayrshire, and we tend to just stick. We've investigated, you know, down south a couple of times, England a couple of times, but we're planning to try and get sort of venture further afield. This Scott, you can't drive. Scottish Hitler. Is that you, Andy? I'm trying to think who that is. Scott, you can't drive. West of Scotland is most active. I think that might be Andy.
Crathis Castle, yeah. Crathis Castle.
Now, I'm looking at this picture here. As we just figured out who he is, that's Andy Muir. He's part of SPIG, Scottish Paranormal Investigations Group. We're quite close with Rigger, who runs. Andy joined them about, I don't know, Andy, about a month ago, 4 or 5, maybe a wee bit more. But I didn't click on that was you, Andy. I call him Stumpy because he's like 3'4", you know. You know, got that. It was like a munchkin. You mind the Wizard of Oz. Ended. It was been that long. Jesus. So that's who Scottish Hitman is. Well, he just tried to kill you. I don't get that one. I can't. I think that's in respect. See, sometimes you'll get comments, and you know. Right, so he says, Scott, you can't drive. Laura said, well, he can. He just tried to kill you. If I tried, Laura, I would make sure I got him. But I'd need a low down car. You know what I mean? Excuse me, you're 6. He's not 6, he's about 3'2". Tiana's taller than him. I mean, yeah, we have done 30 investigations since then. They're always out. I think I've been twice with them. I don't get invited because they don't like me. You know what I mean, Malhana?
Oh,
Keep going, keep going.
what a shame.
That's it. Keep it coming. Go on. Andy, you're no 5'6" because I was standing next to a place we've done down here called Caldwell Estate. You're no 5'6". I was standing next to you and I was taller, even though I had my big boots on. I mean, what can I say? I'm a busy man at times. I've got Lego to build, decorating to do, etc. What can I say? You know what I mean?
You must have the patience of a saint if you're doing Lego.
Oh, we love our Lego. I was actually Sarah Wright that get back into it. I think it was last year she started doing the Harry Potter stuff.
Aye.
And I was kind of imagining doing Lego because I had Lego when I was a kid. You know, I was imagining doing Lego at your age kind of thing. It might have been the year before. But then I'm a big Formula One fan, and they brought out all the Formula One cars and stuff. So we started buying them, and it's just led on to for there, you know. The
Green Lady. Oh, that's my cousin.
Hadley, is that right?
Hadley, yeah. Hi, Hadley.
I meant you're 6'2", taking the piss out, Andy. You're not exactly. No, he's not. That's why I call him Stumpy. No, I mean, basically, we got you into it. Did they not ask you that already? See, he's a wee bit no right there. He's bless him. It's a change. He threw the change. I'm sure he asked you that already, did they not?
He said he asked if I believed in it, and I said yes. But what got me into it?
I'm looking for the. I was sure he asked you that already. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking for his comment.
I've always believed there's something. There's more out there, definitely. You know.
What got you into tarot? That's what he asked you.
Oh.
Standing next to my husband, you're a dog. Aye, well, Craig, he's 6'7" or something, and he uses my head as a, he rests his elbow on.
Aye.
That's how. You see, he's older and I'm not forgetful. I remembered you'd asked a question, but it's very, very similar. Do you charge for readings? Laura's asking.
I do them right. No, I don't, but I do them on live, and then people will send me gifts. But I have had a lot of people asking for like readings, and they'll pay me, people around where I stay and things. So I am thinking about doing that, but people will send me gifts and stuff like that. But I'm always you don't need to send gifts, it's okay.
There's a lot of that goes on in TikTok, but the opposite for you, people say, send me gifts, send me this, send me that, send me money into my PayPal.
I'm not like that one little bit.
It gets so tiring, and especially you get these cabbages are just they can't read a pack of tarot cards for back of a dustbin basically. And, they're just pulling out cards and say, you're going to come into some money. You're going to hear from a long lost relative.
That's just shit that you think that people want to hear. Some people want to hear that, It's just I just tell people what I'm feeling,
Well, you see, that's, I mean, I was just wondering why not people pay. I was just wondering why not people pay for good readings. Scott, Cabbage.
It's because I don't know. I haven't really been doing it I have only been doing it a few months, so but I am. Everyone says I am accurate at it, so I might look into starting, I don't know, a business or whatever it is, But it's just because I've just just started, and I wanted to see if I was I suppose I am good at it, but it is something that I'll look into, definitely.
I mean, it's something, as I say, I've watched a few of your shows, a few of your lives in the comments, and I don't think you've ever had any bad comments.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't
People say,
actually.
people saying you're crap or no, I don't understand that, and whatever. Was I just one short cap? But I'm going to tell you, Laura's got a phobia about cabbages
Oh,
because we threatened one time to take her somewhere and tie her to a tree and throw cabbages at her.
oh, that would terrify me. No wonder.
So,
Shame.
so every, since then she's had this phobia. I mean, we wouldn't actually throw cabbages. We wouldn't actually tie her up anyway. Do you know what I mean? But we're not like that in the west of Scotland. Trust me. I know
Oh,
you get some
okay.
weird Glaswegians about, but I'm not one of them. But so she's had this thing about cabbages ever since. Take it as a positive. Go forward with it. You should give yourself, I don't know, give yourself a couple of months, because
Yeah.
right, I know my best friend tortures me. I've not threw one cabbage at you to date, Laura, but that can change, I can always go and buy a cabbage and wheel when you're walking along the path and just launch it and see what happens, I wouldn't do that. But if you enjoy doing your tarot and you're getting quite a bit of a following and people are, asking you for readings, then, I got a couple of months and if you want to chat for it, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of people here, Malhana, as you probably know as well, tarot readers, mediums and the charge, but there's crap.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people pay for it.
I know, that's just not right to me at all. It's like when people send gifts, I'm like, no, you don't need to send gifts. It's okay, But it is something that I will look into. It's something that I want to do because I've never been sure about like what I would like to do with myself, Never really felt like passionate about anything before, But this is something I really, really do enjoy,
Yeah. Can I remind you, Paddy's our Jack Russell and T's our daughter. Honestly, undercut everyone, make yourself a name to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what people charge for tarot readings. I don't know if there's a going rate.
I don't know either. I've only paid about a tenner for like a 15-minute reading or something, but she was so spot on. It was, she was really, really spot on.
If you enjoy it, keep doing what you love. So, the paranormal, is there any teams in your kind of local area?
I'm not sure. I don't see anything. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I can find out for you.
Because that's something that I find that really interesting.
£30 here is normal. Laura said £30 for a reason. I don't know if a Scooby.
Really? Gee whiz, I could be rich. No, I'm joking. £30.
I don't know if that's good or bad. But I mean, if you do 10 readings a day, that's like £300 a day.
I know. I do that on a live pretty much, sometimes more than that.
Well, food for thought, what I'm saying? I'm not encouraging it. I'm not encouraging it in any way. That's a disclaimer I'm putting out there. I'm not discouraging it. It's down to the individual. But, it's not too plenty money. Andy's asking, I'm not going to call him Hitman, I'm going to call him either Andy or Stumpy because I know who he is. Whereabouts in Aberdeen are you?
I'm in Dice.
Oh, Dice. Up the west. Aye.
Oh,
aye.
Dice, yeah.
Dice is nice. That rhymes.
Dice is nice.
Dice is nice. No, it is.
No, it is a nice little village, like. It is. It's
And
got everything you need here, you know?
you're no right in the middle of Aberdeen. You
No,
know what I mean?
thank
You're
God.
no. Aberdeen reminds me a lot of Edinburgh.
Yeah,
You know, especially when you come off Anderson Drive and you're going into the city centre, but it's quite similar to Edinburgh.
yeah.
Laura's got a suggestion for you. Hire a hall of community to start off at £15. Here you go and take it from there. Word of mouth spreads quickly. That's true. Word of mouth, I've always found, is the best way to advertise.
That is a brilliant idea.
You should
I wouldn't
maybe,
have even thought of that before, so that's a really good idea. Thank you.
as well, she says, word of mouth, you know, um, is the best way. Andy, stop pouching. Pouching. I don't know what pouching means. What does pouching mean?
I don't know.
Amy, what does pouching mean? Maybe she spelt it wrong. I don't know. I was in
Oh,
working.
Balloter's beautiful. I'm from up that way, from like Torfins and stuff like that, you know, like right in the countryside. It's beautiful. It really is.
Laura's got a friend in stays
Banff.
in Banff.
Okay.
Banff's nice. I'd say I used to drive the trucks and I would do the North Run every Wednesday and I'd go up to Perth, Dundee, up through a few drops in Aberdeen, then round by Ellen, Fraserburgh, Peterhead, all that kind of stuff. And I especially during the winter it was a bugger, but during the summer it was amazing. You know, through Portsoy and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Amy, get to bed.
I want to know what pouching means. I'm like, what?
I don't know. Pouch, I've never heard. What does pouching mean, folks? Any ideas? You don't have a clue.
I don't have a clue either.
I've heard of slouching, never pouching. But I'll put the feelers out up in Aberdeen area for any teams that are up there. Poaching, she means. Well, she says pouching, Andy. Look. Pouching. Olgin. Malhana talks about pouching as well.
Yeah, I know. I did like.
She'd have a hard time poaching a line because she's on Aberdeen dice to be exact. But we were talking about. Paranormal. See, you'd like to get into that sort of side of the thing.
Yeah, I find it interesting.
You don't watch the old ghost shows and that, do you? Like
not really,
ghost lectures and stuff like that.
No, I don't think not stuff like that. No, I would like to actually be like right involved in it. You know, I think is actually all that stuff on the TV actually true, or are they just like acting?
Well, Andy's going to drive up to Dice to get you for investigating.
Okay.
You'll tell him quite well because you wee short legs.
Right. Okay. I'll look out for somebody then.
He has
with small legs.
He needs to sit in 3 phone books to reach the wheel. I don't know if you still get them on the phone books, do you? What's poaching? Does that surprise you, Scott? I know someone from Aberdeen earlier. We've got a Jack Russell and he's always digging in the garden. So Sarah came up with the idea of making a sand pit. So she found this woman on TikTok who got a pallet and cut it up and made a sand pit sort of thing. So we're going to try it. And so Laura was over today and she says, I know where you can get pallets. So it's a flooring place nearby us. So we went over and I said, well, I'm just going to go in and chance my luck. Just ask the guy. So I went in and asked the guy, you know, get any pallets? He gave me 2. Came out and it turns out he knows Laura. You see, Amy, I'm reading that comment. That's what called you Amy. I'll get to your comments in a minute, Andy. Just, you know, I was going to say shortly. Get it? Shortly. But anyway, What? I couldn't resist that one, sorry. That was on a plate. Laura is the kind of person that knows that. We actually went to Tesco there one day, Sarah and I, and we kind of gave up. Sarah and I went back to the car because Laura met somebody she knew in just about every aisle in Tesco. You know how big a Tesco is. So we says, look, we'd go back to the car to sit and wait because it was stop, start, stop, start, stop, stop,
Oh,
stop,
was it?
start. Give up. You need to come. Do you drive?
No.
Well, that's maybe something we can sort out. What's he saying? He drives a Flintstone car, so you can't miss, Scott. I get up with this guy. I don't think he's ever had a nice thing to. He's only met me twice, but I don't think he's ever had a nice thing to say about me.
Aww.
That's it. Come on, more sympathy. You need more sympathy.
Aww.
Plus, you hear me before. I'm not going to comment on that, Laura, because I'm not going to incriminate myself or anything. Do you know what I mean? How am I slacking? Slacking. Aye. Well, we'll see. Prove it. We'll see. Proof's in the pudding, as they say. Short stack. As we see, Malhana, are these shows true or not?
Yeah.
What do you think?
In your experience, no. No, I think no. I don't think they are.
There's only a couple of shows that I watch. Sometimes I watch the rubbish ones, just because I'm bored. Right? That's what I was talking to Rigger the other day, and that's what he was saying. Sometimes you watch, like Ghost Adventures, Most Haunted. Just give himself a laugh, basically. The majority of them are for entertainment purposes. I always say, if you want to watch paranormal teams, go into YouTube. No offense to all these programs, they're out there. They're going to produce results because they're under contract and all that stuff. We've been fortunate enough to have had a couple of genuine shows on the show. But I always say people say to me, where can I watch a real investigation? Then you go, I was going to say Ghost Adventures crap. So go to YouTube and look up the smaller teams. The teams with less followers. Because 90% of the time you'll find that that's the ones that are doing genuine investigations. Or watch Rigger, they're called Spig. They're on TikTok actually under Spig. Watch the likes of them. I've been out with them many a time. These TV shows, they give the paranormal a bad name.
Yeah.
Because every time the show comes on, they get activity, straight away. Basically, bang, bang, bang. But and Andy will tell you, Laura, Amy as well. You can go in an investigation and sit for 5-6 years and get absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So they are just a load of crap then.
Basically, aye. But see, we've done plenty of investigations and you get sod all. And at the end of the day, I always say it's down to spirit. Spirit wants to talk to you, then they'll talk to you. But you could have a spirit sitting right next to you. But if they don't want to talk to you, then you're not going to, no unless you feel them, you're not going to know they're there.
Yeah.
Because as I always say, I'll stick your comments up in a wee minute, folks. When we pass over, we're still the same person. Nothing changes. Except we don't have a physical body.
Yeah.
That's it. So, you know yourself, Malhana, as we talked earlier, you met people in life that you don't want to talk to. Spirit's the same. They probably, we could go into a churchyard and maybe spirits, I don't want to talk to them tonight, so I'm not going to. Some people might say I'm talking crap, but it might just be as simple as that. You know, a lot of people bring science into the paranormal, which is fine. It's their thing. We don't do the science side of it because we believe spirit's basic, and I don't mean sort of I mean they're just people,
Yep.
you know. And so you just talk to them like people. You get teams who'll go to them, are you with us? Tell us your name, spirit. You know, and all this kind of stuff, and they start shouting and bawling and all the rest. You just talk to them like you talk to a guy in a park bench next to you.
Yeah.
Because we believe that's what they want. Amy's asking, when are you next going? Hopefully soon, Amy. We were meant to go the other week there, but the conditions at Loudon cuts a place we've done loads and loads of time. It was just it's been raining for about a week, and it's a beautiful churchyard, but it hods the water.
Oh no.
You know, and it was no good for us to get in and out of it, so we had to cancel it. But the weather's been a wee bit better, so hopefully we will. Scott, you're the best friend. You're the best friend ever see. I can be nice. Thanks very much. Okay, if you get anyone dead or alive a reading, who would it be and why? If you could investigate anywhere, that's double barreled. For you?
For me?
If you could give anybody dead or alive a reading, who would it be and why? And if you could investigate anywhere, where would it be?
If I could give anyone a reading, dead. Right, I would give somebody that's dead a reading. It would be my best friend Paul, because he got taken far too young, and if I could give him some answers to like his life, I would love to do that for him. You know, I feel like he never got a chance. You know what I mean? To like at life. You know, that's what I would like to do. If you could investigate anywhere, where would it be? It sounds morbid, but if I could go to bloody Epstein's Island, I would go there to investigate there. I know it sounds a bit morbid, but I think there'd be a lot of like activity going on there.
See, I don't know a lot about the Epstein situation. I don't really read. I really know that. No disrespect to everyone involved, but it's really something that I've never actually looked into. So that's where you'd go, wouldn't it be like Alcatraz or anywhere like that?
Alcatraz, actually, I never even thought that or Bohemian Grove, something like that, somewhere like that. There'd be a few places.
It was out with him last night, my head. Your head will be spinning after spending a night with Andy. Rigger, Andy, Liz and Stephen. That's Spig, that's right. Rigger was actually my best man. That's when we got married last year. Rigger was my best man. He done a no bad job. He turned up, so that was all he needed. Do you know what I mean? What about the history side of things? Obviously, we cover a lot of history as well. What's do you like the history of places or just history in general?
I do. To be honest, I've not really thought much of it, but yeah, I'm always like open to learn about it. You know, I do find it interesting. You know, I'm always open to like learn things.
You see, these are kind of doorways that are there for you. Does that make sense? I know what I mean. Sometimes I know what I mean up here, but coming out here is a totally different story. Laura's got a question for you. Can I suggest something about your friend Paul?
Yes.
See what she suggests, see what she types up. But I mean, you're doing really, really well with your tarots. You know, you're interested in you're big interested in the paranormal and sort of history side. And so I mean, these are doors. How you put it? It's going to sound condescending. I don't mean to be like that, but you know, these are doors that were never open to you before, so you should take them.
Yep.
You know, and at the end of the day, as I say there, I might be talking bollocks, but it could be spirit that's, you know, sending these to you. You know, because I always feel that this is going to sound, everybody's got, some people call it a guardian angel, some people call it a spirit guide, people get different names for it. But I always believe that spirit's there in the background, whether it's a family member or maybe, you know, a friend, whatever, is always there, but they will not interfere with you. But have you ever, you know, since you came out of your addiction, have you ever had a problem or an issue, you think, how am I going to solve this? And then at the last minute, a solution kind of pops into your head. Whether it be a bill, you know, maybe you get a bill to pay or something like that, whatever. And you think, how the hell am I going to get this done? And then, you know, as Laura said, a light bulb moment. You ever had one of them?
Yeah, like I've had a few like clarity moments. Also, the other day I was doing an angel reading for myself, and it says that on the card you will find feathers on this path when you know you're on the right path. And I went for a walk somewhere that I never used to go, like a different way that I normal, and I just kept finding little feathers, and I'm like, that doesn't feel like it's the right one, you know. And then I took a few more steps, and then I found like this most beautiful feather, and I just felt like, you know, okay, I'm on the right journey, like, you know, I'm on the right path, you know. And also something told me to look at the bench, and on the bench was written "Fit like Min," and Paul used to always say "Fit like Min," you know.
You see, that's the thing. I think it's your friend Paul, and that's him giving you, as I call it, a wee nudge. As I was saying, you know, you always, you could have a problem, could be anything, a bill, whatever. At the end of the day, spirit will step in and just give you that wee nudge, so if I have to say, well, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
You know, and the feather thing, a couple of comments I stick up, which I will stick up, we say, I find that interesting because that's happened to me. I was in the middle of town one day in the pedestrian bit, and I was standing, and this white feather, I have still got a photograph of it, came floating down and landed between my feet. And Laura will tell you it's a pedestrian precinct, you know, where there's a single white feather just floated down and landed between, and I just stood there and stared at it. You're looking about for a seagull or something, you know, a kamikaze seagull or something like that, you know. But there was nothing. I think, where did the feather come from? You know, so I mean, a lot of people say that's spirit sending you a message.
Yeah.
You know, and I found one out in the front garden as well. One day, just one single feather. Somebody says to me, it's half a bird. I say, well, where's the rest of the feathers? Where's the rest of the bird?
Exactly.
There's only one feather here, you know.
Exactly.
We'll be back out as soon. I'm going to try to call him regular tomorrow because we need to get another investigation set up. You have a recorder on your phone. Talk to him. He will answer you. You might not hear his answer, but your recorder on your phone can and will pick up his voice. Now, that's a good idea.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God, that would be amazing if that would actually happen. So thank you. I'm going to try that.
We do. If you have any trouble understanding it, please feel free to send it to PI. We will help. We've used it, and Andy's probably used it. I know Rigger's done it as well. It's just a voice recorder on the phone. We've done it quite a few times at Loud and Cut, and Laura will put a voice recorder on and just sit it down somewhere and just let it run. You know, and Laura's picked up quite a few EVPs that we've not heard. You know, we did the train station here a few years back, and we picked up this little girl, and we asked the little girl, "Where's your mum?" And it was later on that we were listening back to Laura's phone that we heard the answer, "She's behind you." And then we got another one saying, this woman saying, "I'm in the corner." And we've had loads of them. So that is actually a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Just sit it down and just say hello, just talk normal. You know, and just leave gaps and then play it back and see what happens. We will get you out, Malhana, don't you? He's determined to get you out as well.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
He says he's no part of us. He's just trying to wind me up. That's exactly what he's trying to do. But I'm not going to bite, Andy. I might bite you when I see you. But I'm not going to bite, Andy. Don't worry. But no, I say, I meant you. What? We will get you out, Malhana. Don't you worry. I meant you. Any ideas, Malhana?
No. What, you'll get me out or what?
We will get you out, Malhana. Don't worry. I meant you. You will get Malhana out. Oh, see, I think he's ageist. Say you get racist and stuff, I think he's ageist. You know, if that is such a thing, I don't know. But he's always going on about how young I am. I can't help looking at this young Andy. I'll wear well for my years, what I'm saying. It's jealousy. I know, Andy, I totally understand. I will give you some tips on how to look this good at my age. Don't worry, Andy. I'll pass them on to you. Jealousy is a bad thing, Malhana, don't you think? Terrible thing. Like the day I was walking through the mall, I had zero money, nothing for dinner, but walking along the mall, I felt landed in my hand. When I got home, there was £25 in my bank. No clue where it came, no clue where it from. You know, that's the thing. A lot of things happen in life that we cannot explain.
Yeah. How does science explain that one, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, I've told this story many a time, but I'll cut it down short. I used to drive trucks and vans, and there was one Friday, and before the seatbelt law, I never ever wore a seatbelt, never, because my best friend years ago, his mum was killed in a car crash. The car went on fire. They couldn't get the belt off.
Oh, God.
That's how if she'd got the belt off, they would have got her out, but they couldn't get it off. And so I just never, and I used to get into trouble after everybody. There was one day one Friday I came out of Carlisle, I parked in a lay-by, I was eating my sandwiches, and I was just about to head up the road, and something in the back of my head kept saying, put your belt on, put your belt on. So I ended up just putting my belt on, and about 30, 40 miles from Glasgow, I was at the back of a tailback, and this van went into the back of me. The police said he was doing about 70 miles an hour in the back of me. And the van was destroyed. There was about 5 or 6 cars involved that were shunted forward. But my van was destroyed. And the police had said, if I hadn't been wearing my seatbelt, I would have been right through the windscreen. Because it forced it to hit me away. And people, when I done on my shoulder and what have you, but people were saying to me, and this was the crazy thing, you know, people would moan me about not wearing a belt. But after the accident and I get home, I came out of the hospital, I get home and he says, why did you have your belt on? Well, you should be grateful. But they were saying, you never wear a belt, but you had your belt. Why did you have the belt on?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. Something was just telling me to put my belt on. So was that maybe some kind of spirit sitting there telling me, look, get that belt on because somebody's going to whack you on the way up the road.
Yeah, basically. Definitely. That's what I think, yeah.
So, I mean, it could be something like that, you know. I was meaning Scott's team will get you out on an investigation. We've got you now, Andy. Message understood. Message received and understood. Shut up, Scott. I look great for my age. I was talking about you, I was talking about my age. It's not all about you, dear. No. People are good to make about themselves. You know what I mean? But we love investigating. And as I say, you can sit for 5, 6 years, whatever. Say, oh, they're another cut about my age. I get this is constant. It's just, you know, just as well I, you know, don't have a complex about my young years, just as well. You I forgot what I was going to say there, Andy. Thanks very much. I already asked her that one, Andy. Catch up, please. Catch up. Pay attention. I mean, she doesn't drive. I think because some people say, well, you sit there for 5-6 years, nothing happens. Is it no boring? She will know, because I love the anticipation that you don't know what's going to happen in the next 60, 100, the next minute or two. It could be 10 minutes, but you just don't know what's going to happen. And that's one of the bits that I love. I think you would enjoy investigating, even if we did get sawed off. Well, you know me, always make it about me. I'm fabulous. We'll just do that with it. We'll do that with that one. What do you think? We'll just put that. Have you ever, as Laura says, with the idea with the phone, that's a brilliant idea. You should do that. Have you ever had anything else happen that you couldn't explain?
Just like that day in here, what I already said, I felt like somebody touched my shoulder, and then I honestly turned round because it honestly felt like somebody was pulling at my shoulder. But I'm trying to think, not that I can think of right now. Yeah, not that I can think of just now.
We need to try and work out some way to get you out, because you're up in Aberdeen, or Dice actually.
Yeah.
It's just a pity of that kind of, because I think that's 3 hours for you or something, give or take, which is not too far. Because I think you would, I think you would definitely really enjoy it. The history side of it as well, we find that fascinating, because you can't have one without the other, I think.
Yeah.
The two of them go kind of hand in hand, and especially up your neck of the woods. I've just found a wee. Maybe you can see that on my finger.
Aye, what's that?
And there's one of these wee tights, see these plastic gems you get. It was stuck to my shorts. Don't wear handle. I don't know. Where that comes from. So, do you do your carols every day? Because you always seem to go by.
Most days, yeah.
And I know you like the outdoors.
Oh, yep.
It sounds like I'm stalking you, doesn't it? But you keep popping up on TikTok.
No, a lot of people say I pop up on the FYP all the time, and I'm like, how does that happen? Because I don't even put hashtags on my videos, I just try and keep busy, but I'm just ask people what else they want to see from it, because although I love doing readings, it is nice going on live and chatting to people as well, so I just try and do a bit of both. I
enjoyed it, Laura saying it's been a great live, it's been very open and true. I'd like to see to our lovely guest talking about parts. I'd like to see to our lovely guest talk about parts as needs, but I admire you for doing it, explaining why you do what you do. No, it doesn't. I think it takes a lot of, just jumping back to the addiction thing, it takes a lot of courage to set up, because as we said, there is that kind of stigma attached to it.
Yep.
And for somebody to be able to stand up and say, right, I was did A, B, and C, drug wise, but I don't do it anymore. I think it takes a lot of courage, because you never know who's going to judge you and who's not going to judge you.
Yeah, and what people's intentions are, I know I'm bound to get judged for what I share on TikTok, but it's part of my journey, it's my story, and I want to share it, and if I can show people that there is always hope, to not give up, I'm living proof that things do get better if you don't give up, just what I like to show that.
you're always going to get the haters, though. We've been doing this for 6 years now, near enough. Andy will tell you as well, Laura will tell you, you're always going to get people who will not like what you say or not like what you do. You're always going to get negativity for somewhere.
Yeah.
But you just ignore it and
Yeah.
you just move on. We've had it a few times in the past. You know what? See, if you don't like what we do or whatever, then jog on. Away you go. But no, I mean, as you say, you enjoy doing the lives and chatting to people. That I think that's a big part of it as well, because you're connecting with people that you would never have met otherwise.
Exactly.
If you stayed in Circle A, you would never have met people in Circle B.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same with the paranormal. I mean, people are people. No one should judge it. No, Laura's totally right. Nobody should be judged, but unfortunately, you do get people that you're going to judge. I've been judged quite a few times, but I'm Glaswegian and we don't give up. Do you know? But I mean, it's good that you're meeting people that you would never have met, and people are meeting you. And it's not that you're after fame or anything like that, but people are connecting with you, and they're part of your journey. They're becoming part of your journey, whether you know them personally or just through doing your shows. I mean, we found the same, because see, we started this during COVID, doing the podcast, and we've met hundreds of people, really, really genuine, and we've made a lot of friends through it. Friends that we've met up with, and friends that we still keep in contact. And it's people, I'm not name dropping, but it's like I say, I don't know if you're a fan of the Saw films or no. You like the Saw films? No, you Aberdonians. My dad was right, but Aberdonians. But it's, I had one of the guys with the Saw films on last year, and we've had, actors and all that, people that we would never have met if we hadn't started doing this. And I'm not being big-headed. Laurel back, I'm not being. My point is that by doing these shows, you doing your shows, you're connecting with people that you would never have met before. And it's people who can help you. I sound like I'm a therapist. I'm not being a therapist or so all, but it's people. And there might be people in your chat that's been in the same boat as you have.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that, or I get a lot of people asking for like advice because their loved ones in addiction, or just asking for support, or
Exactly. Thank you for chatting to us. Hope we come on again. You're refreshing and an inspiration to others. Be proud. Oh, she will be on again. Don't worry, Laura, dear. She's stuck with us now.
I'll definitely come on again.
See, there you go. Did you hear that, Andy? She's going to come on again. That's kind of childish, isn't it? I don't care. He knows I'm only kidding him on. But you see, that's good because people are looking to you for advice now.
Yeah.
And okay, sometimes you might not be able to give it. Sometimes they might ask you stuff that you don't know. But the fact is that they're reaching out to you, and you're reaching out to them in a way as well. And that's why I say you'll find the paranormals are a lot like that. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cabbages in the paranormal teams you just don't want to associate with. But you learn that as time goes on. If you're you've been kind of empathic, you pick up. You'll be able to judge people. You'll know who's genuine and who's a fish. Basically, I know what's what and who's no genuine.
Yeah.
And the paranormal field as well. Yeah, absolutely. The paranormal field is huge, but such a great support. It is a great support network. And as I said, we were saying earlier on, it's people see 90% of people see the paranormal as a hobby, which it is. It's a hobby it's a passion for us. We love doing it. But the other 10%, like yourself, you see it as something to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said that earlier on, but it's something to. So it has got other benefits. You know, oh God, one of us. Well, don't know. I don't have a clue about that. I don't even need to explain that one, Laura Dog. Sorry. If you ever need an ear, I'm 4. I'm deaf as a bat. She is, but you know, she's a good listener. I know that sounds kind of daft. She's deaf. She's a good listener. you get what I mean.
Aye.
But you know, I mean, the paranormal is tarot, which comes under the paranormal umbrella.
Yeah.
Really, you found something to take you down that other path, to take you away from the bad stuff, to get into the good stuff. So,
Exactly.
you know, as well as it being a hobby, it's been a kind of like a
lifeline.
A lifeline. Aye, I was going to say saviour, but a lifeline.
Saviour, saviour, lifeline. You know, it's been more than just a trend, if you will. You know what I mean? It's like really probably saved my life in a way. You know.
Well, I'm not going to say probably, but very, very possibly, because I mean, looking at you, I mean, you see, I've known people in Glasgow who were in addiction and stuff, and when they've come out, you can still, you look at them, and you can still see the, you know, the effects it's had on them, you know, body, physically wise, appearance wise. Not I judge anybody by their appearance, but looking at you would never tell.
Yeah.
You know, that you're an ex-addict. Sounds bad, does it? That, you know, that's what you did in the past.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense. But if you saw what I looked like, you could tell. While I was in it, you could tell, you know.
Aye, but what I mean is...
But now, no, I don't think so. You know what I mean?
You know, I've known people who have been in it, they've come out of it, they've been out of it for months, but their appearance hasn't get any better or anything. They still get that kind of, even though they are a better person inside, the shell, the outside, they still look the same as they did choosing their time. You know? But with you, it's totally different. I mean, but I've just noticed the time there, Dom. I'm going to wind up. So but I'm going to keep a hold of you after we come off. So don't disappear on me.
Okay.
Where can people find you on TikTok?
Put in just Malhana. Is it my name? So Malhana and then kiss, like XX. I think that's my name on TikTok.
Go on her TikTok channel, folks, because she's on every day, and just ignore her bin. Bin / washing basket. You know, just forget, don't bother looking at a bin / washing basket. You know, that's another story. It's been a great live, everybody. It's a lifestyle. It's helped proudly, even though I don't know you. I know addiction. There we go.
Thank you.
So we're going to wind it up there, folks. But you've always seen Malhana again. I'll keep a hold of you just after we come off.
Okay.
So we're back tomorrow night I'm back with Carol Tracy. We're continuing our Tudor series. Tomorrow night we're going to be looking at the death of Henry VIII and how the impact it had on the country. Tuesday night I've got author, investigator Hannah Richards back. Thursday night we have the founder of the Haunted magazine and investigator author Penny Morgan. Penny's been with us a few times, but it's been a couple of years. But I managed to drag her back, so she's back on Thursday. But give this young lady a look up, and you will be seeing her again. But I've got my wire stuck, my headphone wire stuck. Always happens. My headphone wire gets stuck in my chair. And so you go at that, and it only goes so far, and then I feel like pulling my headphones up. There we go. So give this young lady a wee look up, folks, and you will be seeing her again. So we're going to say good night for now. And I'll see you tomorrow night, and Malhana will be seeing you as well. Not tomorrow night, but next time. All right, folks. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.